faster, stretch out our arms farther. And one fine morning, so we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther. And one fine morning, so we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past.
So what is up, YouTube? This is probably not what you expected when you saw the title. You probably were not expecting this, but you know, it's kind of what I have to do. So the most recent was made 3 months ago, right? And let me fast forward a little bit. I don't really know the best time. So about here, you could see kinda that this is a school, right? So the most recent one, I explained that Guess 666 was a kid that was bullied in school. I made that December 18th, 2016. Now let me look up Guess 666. DesivyHQ 2 weeks ago, made a Guess 666 story, and it takes place in a school about a person that got bullied. So, and then my original story was made around 3 years ago. So like 3 years ago, it was 2017 today, and so I'm kind of angry at everything right now, because when you look up Guess 666, it's getting flooded by people that kind of copied my work. It was kind of my creation, and it's what really started my YouTube channel. And then another thing, if you look at all this, right, they're using my name. They're using my name to try and get people to click this and get viruses on the computers and stuff. And that's not really cool. And if you're looking at this, do not click on any of this that shows this type of stuff that has my name in it. I never put my name in my videos, so don't trust this. It's not legit. I've already seen it. So, I know what you're thinking. This means the end of Guess 666. Well, I think some of you might be happy to know that I'm actually making another episode, and I'm going to show you guys in this video. And it's going to be the last episode, sadly, unless, something crazy happens and these people say sorry and admit that they did copy me. But it's basically going to be the ending of everything. But there's more opportunity. So, my video, Error 45229, it almost has 200,000, and if you look up the original Guess 666, what I got famous for, it has 156,000. So, it has more views. So what I'm thinking, I've seen some comments about you guys wanting to see more of this. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I might make a series out of this, opposed to trying to continue, Guess 666, because that's kind of destroyed at this point, because people... Now, I gotta clear some things up. So, I'm gonna explain some things of why I made Guess 666. So, my friend really did quit Roblox because of a hacker. Now, Guess 666 was just the face to try and say it to people. I can't say the hacker's real name because that he's a hacker. But at first it was kind of a real thing, but we tried to recreate it, and then I noticed that it went viral quickly. So I started to make movies, and none of these are real. I've said a million times in the comments that they're not real. This was all made to just be entertainment purposes. That's why I called them creepypastas, because if you look up the definition of a creepypasta, it says creepypastas are essentially internet stories passed around the forums and other sites to disturb and frighten readers. So basically what this saying is that it's made to scare people, and that's what I did. I was making these to scare people. Now, so I remember the first few videos, I would always, like this one, what I did originally is I had just made a game, the Roblox default game, and then I posted in the catalog, hey, does anybody want to come with me to film this episode? And that's when I met some people that, has really shaped Guess 666 to where it was today. And, let me try and find the most recent one. And compared to the most recent ones, the most recent ones are pretty high quality compared to back then. So it's kind of crazy to see how far I've come. And I gotta give so much credit to Aaron. And without him, I wouldn't have made any of these videos. And if you guys don't know, his username used to be MonsterBlocks23, and he changed his name. So yeah. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna start working on Error 45229 more. And I'm kind of disappointed about Guess 666 and everything, but without further ado, I'm gonna bring you the final episode of Guess 666. I hope you guys enjoy. This one was something I've been making for almost a year now. Let me look up the game. Let me find this. I think I've literally been working on this for about a year now. And it was created... Alright, I was exaggerating a little bit. It was created 6 months ago. So I've been working on this for a long time. And I hope you guys enjoy. This game's right here. It's available to play if you guys want to come and visit, you know. And I'm gonna do updates just because some things are broken, but without further ado, please enjoy the very last episode of Guest 666.